Before I review the outright animated disaster that is the Emoji Movie, let me specify in a little bit of backstory for you guys. Now, before this movie's initial release, Sony Pictures Animation had figured out an idea to create a CGI Popeye movie. We'd never seen a Popeye movie since, what, the one with Robin Williams? So we were very curious to see what the Sony Animated Studio can do with the property. The bad news was, they canceled it. Yeah, they ended up canceling the project entirely. And what did we get instead? Why, the Emoji Movie, of course! What? And now that we're here in 2017, let's talk about it. In the Emoji Movie, it stars TJ Miller as a meh emoji named Gene, and he's about to go on his first day of work into his cube. Now, a cube is basically a place where any emoji in the world of Textopolis resides, and they have to wait there until they are selected by a high school kid, known as Alex, through a text message. That is their mission. That is their basic goal in life. However, each emoji's simple priority in this giant society of Textopolis is that they have to stay the same exact emotion throughout their entire life. However, Gene isn't like that because he does more than just one emotion, and the entire society in Textopolis sees this as a big issue. And so, on a mission to make things right for the city of Textopolis, Gene teams up with two emojis in the process, a hand named High Five and a hacker named Jailbreak. And so it's up to him and the rest of the gang to fix this problem and to make things right again. Now, I did say before that in the beginning of this review that this movie is a total animated disaster, and do I stand by that? Yes! This movie is a disaster! This animated movie is horrible in every single way, shape, and form. And trust me, I have seen some bad kids movies in my life. This is one of the absolute worst. This movie is an ill-contrived, abhorrent, animated catastrophe. And how so, you may ask? Well, let me tell you something about this movie. One of my reasons, basically, is that it rips off every single kids movie. It rips off Wreck-It Ralph. It rips off Inside Out. It rips off the Lego Movie. Now, what all three movies have in common is that they basically share the same kind of story, but told in a unique and interesting way. Like with Wreck-It Ralph, he just doesn't want to be a bad guy in a video game. He wants to be more than that. And Inside Out, I can just be more than just one emotion at one time. And with the Lego Movie, you know, he could be one-dimensional, but he's still a special kind of person. With this movie, it takes these ideas, but does nothing special with it. Alright, next up, let's talk about the characters. Oh my god, I'm losing my mind. Now, TJ Miller as Gene, I thought he was alright, but let's just be honest. He could have been played by anybody. TJ, let's just be honest, this is not a great career move for you. I mean, you're lucky that Deadpool 2 is coming out, otherwise, this will be the death of your career. And then you have James Corden as High Five. I'll boil it down to just this. His character is basically the equivalent of Patrick from the modern-day SpongeBob episodes. He's an annoying smart aleck who's a complete sociopath. Basically, all he's there to do is to provide some terrible one-liners, and that's about it. And you know what the depressing part about all of that is? Patrick Stewart plays the poop emoji. But he doesn't really play as an emoji. He most likely plays a representation of what this movie actually is. And that is poop. And even performances from other actors like Anna Faris, Maya Rudolph, and still Patrick Stewart are completely phoned in this movie. And the animation as well is a complete downgrade from previous animated films from Sony. The problem about that animation is that it's very basic. Like, the emojis are supposed to have a uniqueness to them. They're supposed to pop out. Not with this animation. And not only just the characters are basic, but the backgrounds are completely bland looking. It just feels very plain and uninspired. And this is a Sony-made movie, so of course you're gonna get a baneful amount of absurd product placement. And as you're watching the movie, you realize that as the film goes on, it's not really trying to tell a story, but more or less trying to sell and advertise products. Like, for example, they see the Facebook app, they go to the recycle bin. There are these important plot moments in the apps Candy Crush and Just Dance. They take a ride on the bird that looks like the Twitter logo. An important plot point involves the emojis trying to get to Dropbox. I swear I'm not making that up. And just for your amusement, they also show the YouTube app. So that way they can also show the surprise kitty video. And you know what? Even though that video is incredibly cute, this movie didn't make things any better. And then you have all these subplots that are just basically filler just to pad out the runtime. One of the biggest subplots in this movie is whether or not Mom Meh and Dad Meh will have a divorce or not. because they're having marital problems in their relationship. And you know what? Here's a subplot that really kind of throws me for a loop. Now, as you know, all these emojis live in a smartphone, and that smartphone is owned by a kid named Alex. And Alex is apparently having a little girl drama. There's a girl at his high school that he's really crushing on, and he wants to ask out to the school dance. However, he has no idea what the right emoji to send her. That right there is one of the biggest important moments in the script. Now, this subplot, it could be very interesting. It could just be a whole movie in itself. And you know what? That's what should have happened. It should have been an animated styled John Hughes-like movie. Just get rid of all the emoji stuff, that doesn't really matter, and just have it be about a kid in his high school experience trying to connect a girl that he has a crush on. And you know what? That can be relatable to kids and teenagers and even adults. However, that's not the case because in this movie, it's about emojis. So Alex can't figure out what emoji to send her. Here's a bright idea. Why don't you just talk to her normally? Better yet, why don't you just turn the phone off? Okay, in all honesty, if I keep going forward, this movie's gonna be the death of me. The Emoji Movie is everything bad about a kid's movie. With a half-assed story, generic characters with phoned-in performances, downgrade animation, absurd product placement, and filler subplots that really just are meant to fill out the runtime of the movie that contain some of the biggest plot holes imaginable. And you know what, kids? If you're gonna go see this movie, here's some advice. Don't see this movie. In fact, see something else. Go see a good animated movie, something that wouldn't really waste your time. Or you know what? Better yet, don't go see a movie. Play with your family. Live life. Read a book. Go play soccer, football. Watch preseason football with your dad. Just anything that isn't a time waster like the Emoji Movie. And with that being said, the Emoji Movie outright deserves a 0 out of 5. Alright guys, that is my review of the Emoji Movie. Comment below, let me know what you thought about this movie. Find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. And also be sure to subscribe for more. My name is Luke Nukem, and you have been blown away.